Everybody, welcome to Smashing Game Time. We are two brothers that talk about gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I am Nick, your host, and I'm here to take your photo for the paper. Below me is Josh. Josh, what are you doing?
I'm a power bottom. I generate all my power from the bottom.
He asserts all his power from the bottom. We are down at Jake. Jake has a cold. Of course, Jake gets sick as soon as we get into the COVID years. What are the odds?
Honestly, it's a bit of a quinkadink.
You heard it here first. Jake has COVID.
Almost as ironic as your Peter Parker reference over there.
Hey.
Because of last week.
Pew, 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 pew. What was last week, Josh?
Oh, well, last week was a doozy between the Summer Game Fest and Xbox Showcase.
I feel like it was okay, but we'll get into that. Of course, today we're doing 2020 Q1, so we're gonna try and keep the mentions of COVID down, just so we're not a bummer. But it's gonna happen.
I'm sorry to say it, but the news, it's gonna be a downer episode for sure.
It's gonna happen, folks. I'm sorry. But before we get into all that, of course, as always, we are a Trident Network podcast. Go check out our siblings. They're awesome. You can find Smashing Game Time wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, anywhere. Go rate and review us. Leave kind words and 5 stars while you're there. That'd be really appreciated. Free way to help the show. Get us into more ears and eyeballs. We announce our categories for Game of the Year, sort of, or as I like to call it, Goatso. Goatiso. Hashtag Goatiso. Make it happen.
Hashtag you couldn't come up with it until now, and even then, that was the worst wing attempt I've ever seen in my life.
Hashtag Goatiso. It's happening. We have 13 categories across 5 days. It's going to be the first week of July. Podcast every day. Get ready for it. We're going to be debating. I need Jake and Josh to turn in their shit on this list so we can actually have some debates. It's going to be fun, though, so keep an ear out for that. We'll be recording that here. We've got 3 weeks, so we've got to start planning that out, Josh.
I'm well aware. I've already started my list. I just haven't put it on there yet.
Motherfucker, get it on the list.
Hey, you know what? No.
Did you see the box art list yet?
Yeah, I saw the box art list. It looks nice.
It looks nice. It's going to be very good.
I'll give it to you. Credit is due. Credit is due.
That's going to look really nice. And I just realized I didn't put Tears of the Kingdom on there, and I'm like, yeah, that one's got to go on there.
It's almost a requirement at this point.
It looks. I don't think it's gonna take it, but we'll talk all that later.
We'll get there.
We'll get there later. Josh, what have you been playing?
Yeah, so still on the Tears of the Kingdom train, enjoying every moment of it. I still keep, solidarity first off for the Reddit blackout. I did it for my 3 days, and I barely made it. I'm not gonna lie. I love being on Reddit.
I'm still on it. In fact, I was Googling how to do something, and one of the top results was a subreddit, and I clicked on it, and it was blacked out, and I was pretty pissed.
Yeah. I mean, first off, I'm definitely in solidarity with them, because that's people's livings we're fucking with. And I get that Reddit has to make money, but
yeah,
don't go after the people.
Don't do it off the back of the third-party apps.
Yeah, do it on the back of the people who fucking barely pay minimum wage.
Did you see the Spez came out and was like, we're doing things like adults now?
I did see that, actually.
What a fucking tool.
Yeah, so yeah, solid. I mean, I'm with everybody. I'm back on it now because, like I said, I can only last so long. But I'm in agreement with them. What I'll do, I've been trying to be a part of it as best I can to show my solidarity, but at the same time, I'm fucking human, guys.
He needs his Rule 34. Josh, let's get back to Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes, so Tears of the Kingdom. Of course, I get on to my Reddits, and there's TikToks of all these crazy ass fucking engineering things people are doing with it, and it blows my mind what people are doing, and it's like, god damn it, how did Nintendo know that this was gonna be a success? If not, I think it's actually more successful right now just because of that aspect, the building aspect.
I don't see so on social media, and the internet's not a real place, so keep that in mind. I don't see as many people talking about this as there was about
No, I think Breath of the Wild generated more conversation, but I think as far as like what we'll see in the future with mods, with entertainment, just the replayability, there's going to be so much more to it compared to Breath of the Wild.
So how far into Tears of the Kingdom are you?
Well, if it helps give you any retrospect, I have 6 hearts. and I have weapons that are in like the teens at least.
Okay.
If that gives you any idea. I haven't done any major things other than exploring, because that's what I do, is always explore.
Have you fought any bosses?
No, actually, no, wait. I did fight a couple of the big dead goblins in the underground.
Yeah, see, I think that's so.
A mini boss, I guess.
I've fallen off of Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna get back into it before our Goatsio conversations, but I don't know. I don't like this and Breath of the Wild. I don't like their emphasis away, like getting away from the boss fight emphasis that's been like just engraved into the series. It's just it's a weird vibe. Like I haven't even heard much besides like the reviews I've read. Haven't really heard much about the bosses.
I mean, I've also been trying to avoid boss fights in general, just not just in the game, but just in spoilers in general, because someone has already spoiled one of the boss fights for me, and I'm a little pissed about it. I want to enjoy the game without, and I get that, yes, you know, it's been out for what, like a month.
Yeah, it's been about a month, some change.
And I get it, but guess what? I'm a fucking grown-ass man who works 45, 50 hours a week. I've got a wife. I've got a life. If I'm lucky, I get maybe an hour or two a night, even if that, to play a game. And as much as I enjoy Tears of the Kingdom, let's be honest, an average of 6 hours a week, that's not enough time to beat that. I mean, yeah, if I'm going to be grinded just the main story, but where's the fun in that?
Josh, you're going to need to quit your job, get divorced. I need you. Josh, this is a gaming podcast. I need you to fully commit. Divorce your wife for the podcast.
Podcast has to make me some money to do that.
Josh, divorce.
I gotta be hear me out. I've got to be able to not only live off this, but I have to be during the day, like for like a couple hours a day. I have to be able to DoorDash or something.
Oh God, no.
If I do those two things, then I could do it.
Enough members of this family have DoorDash. What else are you playing besides Tears of the Kingdom?
I'm still on the Star Rail. Honestly, I'm enjoying every moment of it. There has not been one moment where I'm like, oh, this fucking gotcha game. I'm actually hooked, and I haven't spent a dime.
Yet.
Keyword there is yet. It will happen eventually, I'm sure. But I've gotten two banner characters, and I'm so fucking happy.
You know why they call it a gotcha game? Because they're going to get you.
Hey, at that point, I'm bent over, ass cheeks spread. Let's do it.
So what? I mean, Star Rail. What's the end game here? Like, is there a story to beat? Like, what are you working towards?
So there is a main story, and of course, there's side quest. There's like side things you can do. Like they have the simulated universe, which is just basically like dungeons, but it varies you visited. There's the Hall of Memories or the Forgotten Hall or something like that. That's kind of like not boss rush mode, but like basically just like harder bosses or harder enemies to fight. And there's, like I said, there is a story, so I'm fairly far in the story already. Or what is the story so far? All in all, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
They're gonna get $20 out of you before you finish it.
That's $20. Compared to dropping 70 for a game, I'll spend 20.
How much? When you were at your worst in Genshin Impact, how much?
$5.
How much?
$5.
All right. The force might be stronger in you than I thought it was.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, come on. You know me. I'm cheap. I'm the guy who yells at everybody for touching the thermostat.
He's not. He does do that for.
They call me dad because I do that. And guess what, guys? Until you start paying my bills, you live by my rules.
All right, Dad. Is that everything you're playing? Is it my turn?
Well, and then of course today, I just started before we started, but Crisis Core, the Final Fantasy remake for PSP. That was from the PSP.
I thought you were about to turn the camera to it.
Well, no, I have my GameFly. I was showing it like, ooh, see.
Ooh, Josh, zip your GameFly up. That's sick.
Okay, Mr. Game Pass. Let's see what you've been playing.
Yo, man, don't come at my Game Pass like that. So
after the showcase, yeah, I'm going to. Let's go.
So the thing about me and Game Pass is I have this nasty habit of downloading a game and then never playing it. I think the last 3 games I've downloaded I haven't played because I have so much other stuff going on.
I mean, that's a likely story, Nick.
Let me tell
We
you.
both know you're not in your kids' lives. Come on.
Josh, you just saw one before the show.
That was all fake and just like that was like a ruse. That there was nothing.
Nick, that was an American Sniper, baby. We know it.
You're the equivalent of the creepy guy at the very end who's it's supposed to be like the guy who did the deed.
No, the worst part, like that, it wasn't even that guy was creepy. Is that Chris Kyle's wife is like peeking out the door, like she knows something, like she's got a sixth sense, like that man's gonna kill my husband.
Well, they had to end the movie somehow.
And then they fade to black. Chris Kyle was murdered that day. What? I'm moving on to my video games. Just like Josh, right before the show, I played one game of 20 minutes till dawn. This is one of those automatic survival shooters, just like Vampire Survivors. It's got a dark, moody art style to it. You're being chased by little Cthulhu-looking babies. You can fire the guns yourself, or you can fire them automatically. I was switching it up in the one game I got to play. I'm going to spend a little more time with that. Hell, it might even win GOTY, so hashtag GOTY show. So stop trying to force it, Nick. Another thing I've been playing, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. This came out a few years ago, but they're constantly updating it. This is, so for those who know Shovel Knight, the 2D platformer, kind of like a Mega Man, but this is, they did a dungeon game. You're moving across a puzzle. So you're playing Shovel Knight. It's not like, you know how like the mascots back in the day, like Dr. Robotnik got the Mean Bean Machine. Mm-hmm. But you didn't really play as him. He was on the side, and you were just
right. You played as the robots.
You are actually playing as Shovel Knight. You are in the puzzle, moving around, hitting stuff with your shovel. So, like, let's say you hit like an enemy. Like, let's say you hit a bat. If the bats are all lined up and you hit them and kill them, it kills all the bats that are like lined up. But enemies also hit you back. So you're basically moving, trying to open all these treasure chests, trying to get to the end of the level by opening a door that needs a key. And you're just maneuvering this puzzle, clearing it, trying not to have it fill up on you before you can exit the map. And it's a roguelite. So if you fail any puzzles, you go straight back to the beginning. I did not know that.
That's cool.
It's cool, but I'm also kind of tired of roguelites. I need something that starts and finishes. I don't need like 50 iterations.
But see, that's the problem, Nick. You either get roguelites or you get Metroidvanias. You can't have it both ways, okay?
I'm at the point right now where I'd rather have Metroidvanias.
That's understandable. I'm right there with you.
I say that, and I just got a review copy for another roguelite, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, good luck.
So Shovel Knight's been fine. It's fine. It's my issue with it is that it's a roguelite, but maybe it'll grow on me. The other thing I can talk about this because it's out. The reviews are out for everybody. Street Fighter 6. Right after I talked last week about playing the demo and hoping to review it, I hopped on the site that Josh and I write reviews for, and guess what was waiting in the review queue for someone to grab and review? That's right. Street Fighter 6, baby.
Which I'm shocked that it was on there. Like, I thought for sure someone else was going to already have it.
It popped up, and I was like, crazy that no one called dibs on this. And so I hopped on, was like, hey, I'll take that. It was here. I'm playing it on my PS4, but it plays great everywhere I've played it. I'm playing a lot of Luke. A lot of Cammy, not for creepy reasons, you fucks. Cammy is just...
The fact that you even mentioned it, that means that's for creepy reasons.
No, hey, can I take your photo for the school paper? No, Cammy, I just like how fast she moves, and I like that all of her moves are... Like, she's very aerial. I like aerial, like, type fighters. I didn't play Street Fighter 5 and I didn't play much of 4. The thing that is new about 6 is they have a modern button layout. So, you know, your usual fighting game, you up, down, left, right, X, and you do your special attack, you do your fireball, whatever. Hadouken. Yes. This has it simplified. So you're still hitting a mix of buttons, but you're not doing all the movement to be able to do a special move. And I thought I wasn't going to like that. I thought I was going to be too cookie cutter. I think Killer Instinct kind of had something like this where they had like the combo assist. You remember the Killer Instinct remake from 10 years ago? Or a reboot or whatever it was.
Jake every once in a while bring up and say Shadow. You always say Ram, General Ram.
It's on it's on Game Pass. If we ever want to get back to it.
Damn it.
I'm kind of in a fighting game mood right now.
I have. Is it playable on PC?
Yes. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Only if I can fucking destroy you with just the same combo move over and over again.
Well, and I think all players are unlocked. But so back to Street Fighter 6. I've been playing a lot of online. I am iron, so I guess that means I'm ass. But that's okay, because even though I'm losing, I'm having fun. And the thing about the modern control layout is, yes, I'm able to do these moves a lot easier than I would in the past. But now it's about me using my dumb brain to be like, okay, when this person does this, I need to do that. It's giving me more time to think about what I need to be doing instead of how to do it, which I really appreciate that. I really think that's going to onboard more people. Just because people like me, dum-dums, I play it for a little bit, fall off, try to come back, and I just get the floor wiped with me with all the people who've been hanging around for years on end. But I feel like this layout might keep people on a little bit longer, as long as they don't get the sweats. But the sweats are out there. I've played a few of them.
No, I think what's going to happen, since apparently this is the era of fighting games right now, since we got this, we've got Tekken, is it 7?
8.
Jesus Christ. Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 1. I mean, it is definitely the era of fighting games. I think what's going to happen is Tekken 8 is either going to be god tier and it's going to bury Street Fighter, or it's going to be shit and Street Fighter's going to stay top dog. And then when Mortal Kombat 1 comes out, no ifs, ands, or buts, Mortal Kombat 1 is definitely going to take the cake.
I think they can all coexist perfectly. And I think the next Evo, where all three of these are there, is going to be fucking bananas.
For sure. It's definitely, I mean, it's going to be nuts.
And everyone's going to be like, Brawlhalla who? Smash Brothers who?
What was that failed WB game? I don't remember.
Multiverses? What was there was a
multi
Nickelodeon.
bye-bye.
There was a Nickelodeon one.
It never stood a chance. SpongeBob got his ass cheek spread too.
Who lives in a pineapple? Nope. We don't want to get taken down. So hey, my Street Fighter 6 review should be up by the time you hear this. I'm actually gonna, after I get off of here and edit this episode, gonna write that tonight. Josh, as scary as it is to say, do you want to head back into 2020?
Okay, only this quarter. We'll skip the rest. Let's do it.
Okay. Q1. All right, so let's see here. 2020 Q1. Things were still kind of happy for a little bit here. January, I lie. January 28th, things started off bad in the year. Warcraft 3 Reforged. This was the remake of Warcraft 3, beloved RTS from Blizzard. I want to say this is the beginning of where Blizzard started making a lot of questionable decisions.
This is about the time where a lot of their allegations came to light, actually.
Yeah, so
their terrible decisions.
All of the toxic workforce, sexual harassment, going to pivot from that into this terrible game. People were not happy with this remake.
Yeah, no, it was bad. There was a lot of issues. I don't even know if they actually 100% fixed everything.
I mean, I'm just watching this video. Oh, hold on. I got to put the video.
I'm not even showing the video.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I wasn't even showing the video. This is bad. It just looks bad. It looks rough.
No, I mean, for context, original, just as an example, original like League of Legends, or hell, I'll even go older than that. Command and Conquer's older ones, like 2 and 3, which are not even that old if you think about it, look so much better than this.
Well, and to take it back, so for a history lesson for the kids out there, if I'm wrong, don't correct me. I don't care. I want to say Warcraft 3, we have that to thank for the MOBAs that you kids play, like League of Legends and the Dotas, and I think those are the only two that come up off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, that's basically it. But yeah, but basically, this was supposed to be like a memoir of that. Like, it was supposed to honor it, and really, they kind of spit on its grave.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of like custom options when the original came out that people eventually made a MOBA out of it. It was beautiful. If you like MOBAs, I don't personally like them. I liked Arcane though. Yeah, and you know what? It's why even do it? I think was the Diablo 2 remake well received?
No.
What was the issue with that one? Do we know?
I think there was just a bunch of bugs, really. Like, it wasn't like a polished game.
This just doesn't.
And then I think it took them forever to bring in. Like, I think they eventually brought in like the season stuff, like they did for Diablo 3.
Yeah. This just doesn't look fun. Just go play Spellforce. If you want like a modern RTS with like this aesthetic, go play Spellforce.
Or go somewhere online, and I guarantee you somebody modded this game, the original, and it looks and plays 10 times better than this.
Go play StarCraft 2, you dorks. It's the better game.
Bye, Blizzard.
Bye, Blizzard.
Everybody wave and say bye.
Bye. I can't believe that acquisition hasn't gone through yet. It's a pain in the ass.
Oh, it's going to eventually.
Just fucking shut Microsoft and fucking Blizzard down. I don't give a shit anymore. Speaking of Activision, March 10th, Call of Duty Warzone came out. This was Activision, so this was their Battle Royale mode for Call of Duty. It's well liked for some reason. People really like playing Call of Duty and putting
Well, hold on.
Let's go ahead.
Let's clear the air real quick. They enjoyed Warzone. Warzone 2 has been a half and half.
My thought is that what kept Call of Duty around was its multiplayer. And then when World at War came around with zombies, they're like, hey, we've got this smaller little thing to hold on to when you're done with the multiplayer. And I think Warzone kind of waddled in and said, hey, I'm zombies now. And then,
well, no, they saw what Fortnite could do. They saw what PUBG what it used to do. And they're like, why can't we do that?
The download size of every Call of Duty from this point forward drives me nuts.
And that's just it. So like, if you told me Battlefield was that size, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Call of Duty, I'm like, there's nothing spectacular about these graphics. Like, let's be honest, brutally honest right now. There is nothing spectacular, and there's less guns than there were in the original Modern Warfare, right?
I think less of your game if you give me the option to, hey, do you just want to download the multiplayer or the story? Like, or both. I think less of you for that.
I also, if your game is strictly, or not strictly, if you plan on having a campaign, but then you just made it a strictly multiplayer, you're trash as well.
Trash.
Yes, and that's calling out Fortnite, and that's calling out Rainbow Six.
Well, and this is crazy because I think around the time this was coming out, the Battle Royale was kind of on its way out.
Well, yeah, because at that point it was oversaturated. We had, like I said, you had PUBG.
PUBG and Fortnite were still going strong, and I think Apex was going.
Apex was going. You had a couple other big, like, I wouldn't say big, but they were different. There was that weird one, Rings of Elysium.
That was a weird one. I watched Jake play that a few times and thought, this is
it was different. It was different. Like, I played it, but I wouldn't say it was like good.
The way you're right, it was different.
Well, because you're like, oh, do you want to have a glider where you can glide around, or do you want to have a bike so you can bike around?
You sound like someone's girlfriend describing a movie they went to saw that she didn't like. It was different.
It was different. Because I'm trying to be nice, but at the same time, let's face it, there's a reason it's dead and it doesn't exist anymore.
Hey, Betty, what did you think of the new Spider-Man? It was different.
He wasn't white.
Oh, God.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
but
God.
that's the joke.
I didn't mean that Spider-Man. God damn it, Josh.
Well,
I didn't mean that Spider-Man. I meant No Way Home. Lane came out of No Way Home, and she was like, they just made jokes the entire time. I didn't like any of them. I was like, I didn't either. I didn't like them either.
I mean, I enjoyed it. But
the one thing I enjoyed was that the second Spider-Man got to redeem himself.
Oh, Andrew Garfield.
But it's not going to bring Gwen back.
No. Anyway, yeah.
Moving on. Let's see here. March 20th, in the heat of COVID, there was only one hero that could save us. It was Animal Crossing New Horizon for the Nintendo Switch. People were bonkers for this game. I think this game has a big following on Twitch still, right?
Yes, and honestly, because of COVID, I think it blew way out of proportion because we even had celebrities that would get on and were showing their islands and visiting other people's islands and endorsing them. It was like it was huge. It was phenomenal.
I remember a comedian, so it was either someone I spoke to recently or someone I was doing a research on, did like stand up. They had stand up sets on Animal Crossing. I think they like got people to come to their island. And I guess they were maybe in a Discord server or something, but had them like on a stage in the game. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, it just because at this point, for those who are living under a rock or don't remember, this is at this point everything was closing and people were like, well, what are we supposed to do?
I didn't have a Switch at the time, and you know what? You couldn't find a fucking Switch at the time either.
Oh, they were because of this.
They were fucking gone. Well,
dude. I think this at the same time wasn't the Switch Lite just come out at that point too?
I think so, because they had the Animal Crossing Switch that had like the teal green and like the light blue handles, and but they also had the Switch Lite, which when I bought Lane's Switch, I originally bought her Switch Lite, and it was okay, but not being able to dock it is just kind of a deal breaker.
I mean, it's a good, like, if you know you're going to play it on the go all the time, that's fine. But if you're like me, or even you, where you want to dock it and play it on a big screen when you're at home, you're kind of stuck getting the standard or the OLED.
Give me a Switch that is the size of the Game Boy Micro. I would definitely use that.
That'd be cool, but that's almost impossible.
You know, the battery would be like, you know how like when a laptop is going bad and the battery's like bloated.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's what it would look like.
I was just thinking it'd be like the netbooks. Remember those?
Yeah. Oh God, netbooks.
Yeah.
So you know what's crazy? I was just thinking back to Animal Crossing on the GameCube. I think the internal clock only went to 2020 before it stopped. Like I think it could keep going, but you could only set it up to 2020. I wonder if you can go past it now. Probably.
How could you? Are you talking about in the original?
In the original, so like you could only adjust it above 2020, but I think if you like set it to 2020 and let it go, it would go to 2021.
I don't think it would have. I think it stopped at 2020.
I don't think the game stopped. I think the clock just kept going. You just couldn't set it any higher.
I'm pretty sure the mole came out of the ground and he said, "Yep, burn it down."
The mole came out and said, "All right, now we're taking over."
Well, see here, you shut off your game without saving for the 5th time in a row. We're just going to go ahead and bury your ass now.
Mr. Rossetti comes out. He's like, all right, jump in my hole. Get in there. Come on, get in my hole. No, you're done. You're done. Get in my hole. You're done.
He doesn't even an opportunity. He just grabs your ankles.
Just starts yelling at you. I have this and I just don't play it.
I have not played it since it came out, honestly.
Lane and I made the island, and you know what? I'm just thinking of all the weeds and bugs that are there.
I'm just assuming mine's like a waste town. One of my first few islanders, they're like, they crawl up to me, help me,
Mr. Tom Nook is.
Yeah, Tom Nook just comes up and blasts him in there with the shotgun.
He's like, "Oh, you're back.
It's been a while. Where's my money?
Do you think I forgot about those bells you owed me, you motherfucker?"
It just fucking breaks your ankles. You better start collecting bugs, you son of a bitch. If you turn off the switch, I'll come for you.
You better start doing favors for people and collecting bells. You better not give that bug to the museum. You can sell that bug for 20 bells, you son of a bitch.
He just straight up puts your ass on a leash and he just fucking walks you around, makes you crawl everywhere.
Go do Task Rabbit, you son of a bitch. If I see you buy anything, I'm going to break your motherfucking knees.
Tom, I'm hungry. Oh, you're hungry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, now you're going to be tired because you just pulled landscaping duty.
Did you just eat that orange off that tree? Do you know how many bells you could have got for that and how many bells of that would have gone to your mortgage?
He starts smacking you with his golden bell pimp hand.
Every morning you wake up and his nephews are like sitting there like watching guard, like, hey, he's up. And he like walks in. He doesn't even need them watching you. He just puts them to work. He was downstairs and he walks upstairs. Like, oh, hey, you slept in. You could have been up. You could have been up at 5. You could have been up at 5 doing odd jobs, collecting bells.
But you brought me home at 4:30.
So?
Is that a complaint?
30 minutes of sleep.
I give you 30 minutes to sleep? And you complain?
He's like, technically, you don't need any hours of sleep, but I was nice enough to give them to you. You know what? I'm going to charge you for those 30 minutes. I'm adding it to your mortgage.
Do you think we could make a creepypasta of just Tom Nook just like doing the most degrading things to the Islanders?
Oh,
who don't pay?
You know, Tom Nook is like, he's got people on OnlyFans.
I imagine like he's like the Don Mafia, and he has his nephews and cousins and all that like do all this bidding. So like he'll just be sitting there and he's like christening his daughter, and it just shows you like scenes of like his nephews just like driving around the island blasting Islanders.
What's the mayor's name? Tortimer? Like, it's time to go, Tortimer. Time is up.
Burns the coffee shop down to the ground while the owner's still in it. All you hear is him screaming.
All right, I think this bit is played out.
Oh, there's more. We're going to make a creepypasta.
Moving on, March 20th, same exact day. Beautiful that these games will be connected forever.
Oh, and the best crossover ever.
Oh, yeah. March 20th, Doom Eternal, the sequel to 2016's Doom. This one had, I don't know, I'd say the focus was more on speed this time around, right?
Oh, yeah, this was more how fast and how fucking crazy can we get?
Right.
Like, this is Doom on speed. Literally.
This game also is very infamous for the not the bickering, but the issue with the soundtrack. So I don't know the dude's name. I forget his name. I'm blanking on it so bad right now. But they tried to rush the music. He wouldn't do it or something like that. Like, it was a big tiff. If you Google Doom Eternal soundtrack kerfuffle, it'll pop up. Sounds like the developer was dicking around the composer. Composer didn't turn in the music. Developer decided to go with somebody else last minute. And so the music kind of sucks now.
Yeah, and then you also have for the next at least 2 years, maybe even currently now, every single video of people talking about graphics cards or consoles use this game as their test.
Is this the benchmark game right now?
This is the benchmark game. This is Crisis. This is still the benchmark as of right now.
I'm looking at it right now on my little Omen over here, and it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, between this and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, but Cyberpunk is just so rough. It's so
no,
rough.
I agree, but that's what they use for their benchmarks. And then honestly, no matter what you tell me, people are still going to go back to the original Crisis and use that as like the tester, because let's face it, that game is a tank and it is slow and it takes a lot.
Remember how beautiful the original Far Cry was?
I do.
Like, it was beautiful on the original. Like, oh my God, look at that demon. He's huge. It's a big bitch.
Have you never played Doom Eternal?
No.
I will admit, for what it is, it's still a good game.
I played Doom 2016, and I was like, I get it. I don't need to kill more demons. I've done my demon killing. I'm retired. I live on the Animal Crossing island. I don't need to do this.
Who needs to fight demons when you can fight Tom Nook, the greatest enemy or villain you could ever fight? He's the next Sephiroth.
Why fight demons when you can fight capitalism? Or no, why fight demons when you can be sucked up by the demon known as capitalism? There we go.
Just as better.
We got it.
Just as better.
I love that these games are connected forever.
Like I said, I was thinking that that meme video someone made to commemorate their release. For those who have never seen it, essentially just think of all the Islanders coming to Doom and becoming Doomslayers. That's essentially what it is.
What's the dog's name? Bella?
I think it's Bella, yeah. It's specifically Bella coming in, and she has the shotgun.
A fun fact, Doom Eternal, I'm pretty sure, is on Game Pass.
I already own a copy because I'm a real fan.
He's a real gamer. 3 days later, everybody put on your headsets. It's the only game that you will ever need to play in VR, at least according to a lot of people.
I would say one of two, Beat Saber being the other one personally. But
Beat Saber's an experience. Yeah, March 23rd, Half-Life Alyx. I think there's a real missed opportunity here. Not turning the E in Half-Life around to make a 3, so people would just shut the fuck up and be like, oh, it's Half-Life 3.
Oh, no, no, they don't want to do that. Okay. So, spoiler alert, for those who haven't played it, already read it, which at this point, if you don't have VR, you're not playing it. And if you haven't read it, you don't care. Basically, kind of retcons everything that happened in 2.
Didn't she, by the end of this, save her dad?
Well, essentially, like, the elusive man, I can't remember his name, G-Man.
G-Man.
He basically goes like, oh, because her dad dies, it causes all this stuff to happen where we lose Morgan Freeman. Well, let's go ahead and not have him die.
I love that there's like, hey, let's just use the G-Man to reset. Let's get a fresh reset. So if we ever want to do 3, we don't have to do Half-Life episode 3. Like, this is technically Half-Life 2 episode 3.
Technically, but it's also a prequel because it's set prior to 2. It's in between 1 and 2.
It could still be Half-Life episode 3 though.
No, you could still technically call it Half-Life episode 3.
It's kind of like how TV shows do now, where like they'll have 3 episodes and then like the 4th episode out of nowhere will be a prequel.
Yeah. Or my least favorite thing of any show who ever does it, the halfway mark of your season is let's review what happened in the past 5 episodes. I swear to God, if you do it, you might as well get back in it, because if I'd rather you tell me, hey, we kind of need an extra week to do work because we're at a point where we can't go any further. I'd be like, yeah, I respect that. But the moment you throw in that 0.5 episode, my God, I'm gonna hunt you and your family down. I'm gonna put you in a place.
Josh, I forgot to hit the video button.
I realized that halfway through it.
Hey, everybody. This is Half-Life 3. Or Half-Life, yeah. This is Half-Life 3.
But for those who haven't played
wait, is Jake the fucking glue of this show right now? We're fucking
God,
falling
don't
apart.
say that. Nick, did he get you infected? Or do you have COVID?
No, he fed me flour and like he turned into a mushroom man, and now I'm feeling a little funny.
Oh, God.
Half-Life Alyx is VR Half-Life. The physics are supposedly really good in it.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. For a VR game, it's really good. Like and you know me, Nick. I've played a lot of VR games.
You have this, right?
I do have it. I'm surprised you haven't come over to play it. I really am.
I'm tempted.
Or even if you didn't come over to my house to play it, I'm not surprised you haven't found it really cheap and asked me to borrow my Quest 2.
I'm tempted to wait and play it on my Apple Vision when it gets here.
Okay, well, if you spend $3,499.99 on that piece of shit,
all you got to do, the day the Apple Vision comes out, pull up to some nice apartment complex on the day it comes out, wait for UPS or whoever to get there, find a box. If it feels like it's the weight of an Apple headset, it probably is. Pick it up, go home.
I'll do you 2 better. Scenario 1, same thing, but rather than picking up and trying to determine based on weight, why don't you just look and read? Because I'm pretty sure it'll say Apple Store or Apple.
Probably.
Scenario number 2, you go to your local Apple store, which you know tons of people are going to go. You get right next to Graham in the front, who's going to buy it for her little grandson for Christmas, right?
Why don't my grandkids talk to me? I'll give them something.
You make sure her shoes are tied, so when she tries to rush in to get it, she falls, gets trampled on. People will surround her screaming, "Oh my God, Graham's dead!" And then you just grab a pair from somebody who's not paying attention and just walk out the store.
I don't think that'll work. I don't think anyone will give a shit that Graham's dead. They'll be like, "Hey, I want an Apple Vision."
If it's right there in the front of the doorway, no one can get through. I'm sure people will complain.
Okay,
someone will eventually find out.
Okay, here's how you get an Apple Vision for free. This is the ultimate Apple Vision heist. You don't need everyone else who's telling you how to get this for free is wrong. Here it is. You go on the day of release. You wear snow goggles that you use for snowboarding. You wear them. You go in. You ask to try on a pair. You take your snow goggles off. Put on your Apple Vision. And then when the clerk asks for the sample version back, you give them your snow goggles and walk out. And then if they, but, if they were like, hey, you. Oh, you gotta be, oh my God, they're just so alike. I didn't know. I'll
do you one more better. One more.
All right.
You go in, same scenario. You go in, you get to get your other stuff. You wear a pair, but before you take it off, you put your hand in your pocket and you throw pocket sand in their face and then walk out the door.
No, pocket sand won't work because I'm wearing goggles, Josh. Everyone's gonna be wearing the stupid fucking goggles.
Just
It's a flawed plan. It's a flawed plan, Josh.
get a green bandana and put it over your head.
It's a flawed plan. I'm just gonna get one of those stupid VR things that you put your phone in. Except for a phone, I'm gonna put a Zune in and just be a fucking idiot.
I'll just pretend like I'm a robot. I'm sorry. Could you please repeat what you just said? God damn it! The stupid headset's not working.
I'm sorry, I did not understand you. Half-Life Alyx, go check it out on VR. Really, one of the only reasons you need to check out the VR. Hey, it feels dark to say we survived Q1 2020, but technically we all did.
Yeah.
That felt icky to say. Josh, as much as it's gonna bum us out, do you want to do the news?
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
Yeah, it's a short news day because everything that was on there was super depressing, and even on here, it's still kind of super depressing.
All right, give us what you got.
February 25th, Kazusha Hashimoto, creator of the Konami Code, died at age 61. Now, for those of you who's like, Josh, what's the Konami Code? Well, first off, shut the fuck up. You're too young. Secondly, back in the day, we didn't have fancy, we didn't have cheat codes built like on software. We couldn't mod stuff. You had to play games, and you had to use cheat codes provided by those developers who were bored and were like, no, I want to make the longevity of my game go longer. So for those, Nick, do you remember the Konami Code without looking it up?
Oh, up, down, left, right, A, B, A, B.
No, close. You're thinking of that is that's one of the Nintendo codes. I can't remember which one. No, Konami. The Konami code is up, up, down, down, left, right, BA.
Is that used in Contra?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the 30 lives code.
I was heading in the right direction. I just got a little mixed up. All right.
So, but well known throughout the gaming community for those who are old enough to remember it, and honestly, for a majority of the Konami games that you play, if you use that code, usually there's like some type of Easter egg.
Do the pachinko machines have it in them?
No. So, would you like some examples of the Konami code for some of the modern games?
Sure.
Okay. So, for BioShock Infinite, there is actually a variation of the Konami code in the game's menu that unlocks the more difficult 1999 mode from the start.
I thought you were going to tell me Booker gets naked.
You wish.
Booker!
Let's think. Let me find another one real quick. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. This is a spiritual sequel to Castlevania. Enter it and you get the 1986 mode that makes the game's controls more similar to the Castlevania series.
I thought you were going to tell me it uninstalls the game and bricks your computer.
Yeah. But yeah, there's tons of references to other games outside of Konami games, but yeah, RIP.
Did he die of COVID?
No, I think he was heart. I want to say heart.
Even if it was, they probably weren't tracking for it yet.
Yeah, I don't think at that point. I think it was something to do with he already had like deteriorating health at that point. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I don't think it was like officially COVID.
What else you got?
March 11th, Entertainment Software Association announced that E3 2020 has been canceled due to COVID-19 pandemic. So, yeah, I think that's
Do the other one. Yeah. Hey, RIP E3. It's been a minute. Hey, how about 2015? That was cool. I don't know, man. Like Summer Games Fest. I know we're going to get into it here in a little bit, but it just doesn't have that same vibe.
No. It's not like getting up at 7:00 on a Thursday and turning on G4 or Tech TV to have it come on and have Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb come on and say, dude, we got games.
It's too spread out. There's too many things. Like I didn't even know Devolver had a thing. And then the what is it? Day of the Dev. I didn't even know when that was. Like, and yeah, there's a guy that does like the big lists for everybody on the internet, but it's just all too spread out and there's too many things. Like the reason you have E3 is to have it all in one house.
I think at some point E3 will
short
come back.
all in a short amount of time. And I know people bitch about the cost, but like, I
But
don't
you
know.
also got to think like we only had like 1 or 2 years of consumer tickets, like
Right. And
because it was all developers and press.
conventions like that are mainly for the industry, like you have that across, like that's not just a gaming thing, that like that's all these different businesses have stuff like E3. And like I know people bitch about the cost, and but that's what everybody does. And I know that's a shitty argument of everybody does it. What are you gonna do, jump off the bridge, Nick? Everybody jumping off the bridge? No, it's just what everybody does. And so if you don't want things to feel disjointed, E3 becomes a necessary evil. Whereas
Not only that, but think
Summer
of where
Games
they're-
Fest, I was taking crazy pills. I hopped on IGN the other day, and it was like all 300 games announced, and I was like, oh, cool. And then like an hour later, I hopped back on to look at like read a review that just went up. It's like, hey, over 400 games. I was like, oh wow, 100 games since like the last time I was on here. It wasn't even a few hours. Hopped on again that night. I forget why. I was looking at something. Over 500 games. I was like, we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need all these games. Like,
And you know what the ironically
fuck down.
Dude, the ironically funny thing about that is they literally picked like 12, had videos for 4, and just said, hey, here's some pictures of the rest.
Yeah, they fucking. I hate that they do that.
Hey, so yeah, these companies paid us to go ahead and display their shit, so we're going to do that.
I think E3 should come back. I think it sucks that the indies can't. Some of the indies can't afford to do that, but I think the way things are now has proven that indies have their place and can do it and can coexist while E3 is going on, because all these indie things are being announced at these separate like the main Games Fest thing was its own thing. Xbox, Sony, PC gaming even had one. So the fact that Day of the Dev can exist amongst the big boys like that means that even if these devs can't afford to go to E3, like you can still have something somewhere and be like, oh, big gaming week, here's our shit.
I mean, like I said, I think eventually they'll come back, because let's face it, this is right now a more not more real world, because it's a real world thing, but I guess a more common real world theme that you're seeing is similar to like cable companies and all the stream services that we're getting. Everybody thinks, oh, well, we got enough content, we can make a streaming service. No,
You don't.
no, you just because you see Netflix going, they're making money. Well, first off, no, they're not. They're like every other place. Secondly, just because you had one good show does not mean you deserve to have a streaming service and buy more shitty shows around it.
To speak on the Netflix thing, and then we need to move on. They were making money, and now they're. This is a longer conversation we can have at some other time, Josh. But growth is not sustainable. Long term growth that they wanted, not sustainable. Moving on.
Moving on. March 31st, the Pokemon Company announced that the World Championships has been canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Fade them out. Fade them out.
Yeah, so I'm going to forewarn everybody right now, and this includes you, Nick, and Jake when he comes back. The rest of the news is practically surrounded around COVID, so be prepared. If you are triggered easily, you're not going to like the next few episodes.
Just make a list of things, and we'll talk about the COVID. We'll talk about it. We're all adults here for the most part. Thanks for the news, Josh. I appreciate you, even though it was doom and gloom. Hey,
Sorry.
Jake's not here, but guess what? Nick's here, and I've got the meme today.
Oh, God.
Me
Time.
Nick, do you even know what a meme is?
This is a meme. This is a meme. Like
It's definitely a meme.
the image. So for those wondering, I've got the secretary office worker dog from Animal Crossing and Doomslayer. They're in the picture. I don't know who the artist is, but it's awesome. It's an awesome picture.
It's more of an illustration meme for those who are wondering, like, well, where's the words? What's going on? No, it's essentially what I stated earlier. It is Doom meeting Animal Crossing.
This is
The best crossover ever.
my interpretation of a meme is what Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty taught me about memes. Memes are ideas that we pass on to one another. The idea that Doomslayer and office worker dog, I guess her name's Bella, I don't know, can coexist in this beautiful world of chaos.
He can hunt demons and he can hunt butterflies.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Josh, we didn't even talk about our book club game. So last
We
week,
save it for when Jake comes back.
Well, yeah, we're gonna wait for Jake
We'll
to
get
come
in
back.
depth with Jake, but
last week we talked about getting into Death Stranding. We actually all downloaded it. But yeah,
I forgot to mention I did play it. But
you did play a little bit. I'm gonna play it this week. Street Fighter's taking a lot of my time, so I will actually sit down and make some time for it this coming week. But hey, I wanted to finish up. We were talking about Summer Game Fest. We're gonna do. I wanted everyone to pick 3 yays and 3 nays from what they saw at the shows. So the way we're gonna do it, I'll name a yay, Josh will name a yay, I'll name a nay, Josh will name a nay. Sorry if this is confusing. Yay and nay is just fun to me. Josh, you can go first with your first yay.
I want to say my first yay was the Fable and Sanwa Hellblade 2 trailers that we got.
Oh, you picked 2 yays.
Well, I consider it one because everybody was all butthurt. If you go on the internet right now, people will tell you they're upset because one, Fable, the Fable trailer we got does not look like actual gameplay, which, I mean, to some extent they're right. But at the same time, the developers say it's going to look like that. I'm gonna believe them for now. And they basically wanted some type of gameplay for Sawana Hellblade 2, and people were butthurt that we got like the behind the scenes shit and like some quick visuals, and it's like, guys, I'm gonna take it because first off, I love the Fable series. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I thought they were all great. I still think 1 is the best and 2 is probably my most played. But I still want to see it succeed because it's it's a great concept. I like the ideas.
I think that Fable trailer was one of my favorites from the entire show.
Yes, I would say it's up there as one of my favorites too, because it's like first off, it just looks so good.
It got the humor. It got
everything.
As soon as I realized it was Fable, I was like, oh, this is great.
It kind of gave me a little bit of like goosebumps because it made me think, oh man, we're actually getting back to what made Fable so good. Mm-hmm. I was down for it. That's why I was like, yeah, this looks great. But then I hear everybody go, oh, it's trailers. It's not going to look like that. Oh. Guys, be thankful we're even getting this shit. Like, boo-hoo. If you don't like it, don't buy it. No one's putting a gun to your head saying you have to drop $70 on them.
Josh, no pre-order, Josh. No.
Oh, I'm not saying, oh, no, hold on.
No.
We are past pre-ordering, guys. No one pre-order. However, if you like it, or you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, wait till they have more gameplay come out or have gameplay come out and then judge it and then buy it when it comes out.
Or just do what I'm going to do and play it on Game Pass for 10 minutes and then never touch it again.
That too. Or Gamefly.
But then remember to cancel your Game Pass or else capitalism wins. My first yay, I didn't cheat and do 2. This game's called Haunty. Let me actually see if I can pull up that video that I was watching with you, Josh. It's like a 2D isometric kind of, what is it? Hades. This is from, who are these guys? Moonloop Games. I don't think they have, nope. This is someone's hockey channel on YouTube. This is not, this is not the game. Let me pull up this trailer real quick. I like the art style. Nope. No music. It's reminds me a lot of this game that I played. What is it called? It was you remember the strategy game I was really into that had this same look, don't you, Josh?
Yeah, I do. The drawing game,
it was hand drawn. It was like a micro RTS. Oh man, it's gonna bother me if I can't think of it. It is called. I'm gonna find this really quick. I'm gonna get you this tip. Do I not even have it saved in my favorites? What the fuck is wrong with me? Oh, Death Crown.
Yeah, I couldn't remember that name.
Reminds me a lot of Death Crown. I don't know. This look is just pleasing. It looks like it'd be one of those games that's deceptively hard. If I had to cheat and do what Josh did and name a second one in this first category of yay,
oh my God, okay.
I'd say Cocoon looks pretty cool. You play as a bug. You're running around collecting cocoons. It's from a bunch of the guys. It's from a bunch of the team that did Inside and Limbo, but not from Playdead. And I think this game, I don't know when is this out? Late 2023, 2024, something like that. It looks cool. Anything that has a black and white aesthetic is going to get me. Why do you think I was so into Blanc?
That's fair.
All right, Josh, what is your first nay?
My first nay, the the Xbox new console, the Series S 1 terabyte in black.
Now, what's wrong with this? What is wrong with this announcement?
Okay, so do you know what the Series S Black is gonna? What's different between that and the current Series S we have?
Nothing besides the terabyte, right?
Exactly. You know what you can do right now? You can go to iFixit. There is a guide on how to basically upgrade your storage. They estimate it's a moderate. It's a 40 minutes to hour. They give you a play-by-play with pictures on how to do it. And you can easily go to any store right now. Probably more like a Micro Center just to make it easier on yourself. But find a store that carries this specific SSD size. It's a little smaller than most, but still you can find it. Probably spend $70, $100 to upgrade. Because let's face it, if you're like, oh, I like the Series S, but I want to get a terabyte. If you go right now to try to sell your Series S or try to trade it in, you're going to get less than half, guarantee it right now. And then you're going to go drop $349 on the new one.
Is this 1 terabyte already out?
No, I think it comes out later this year.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, I guess if you're a late adopter, you can wait for the 1 terabyte to go on sale, or maybe get it as a bundle.
But here's the deal. Yeah, and here's an even cheaper option, guys. And this is gonna blow your mind. You ready for this? Remove Call of Duty Warzone 2. Play anything else. I just gave you 150 gigabytes back like that.
I don't think I'm gonna do that. I don't think I'm gonna do that, Josh.
Just saying. I mean, really, realistically, guys, don't.
All right, you ready for my first nay?
Yeah, what's your first name?
Starfield.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that you're probably one of the select few, aka everybody, complaining about the locked at 30 frames per second.
I don't give a shit about how many frames there are. You could give me the game at 10 frames and I'd be like, okay. I've seen. Remember a little game called No Man's Sky that you really loved, Josh?
Okay, I can see where this is going.
I've seen a game promise a lot of the things they're promising and not deliver. But also, just it's a Bethesda game. You think that's gonna run great at launch? You think it's gonna be a dream? You know it's gonna pop. You know how Zelda's got all these videos popping up of people building shit and having fun. All the viral videos of this game are gonna be whatever's broken about it, which is a shame. But I mean, it's kind of Bethesda's thing ever since Fallout 3, maybe. I think 3 was kind of choppy at launch.
Yes, but I'd say as we've progressed further throughout the years, it's only gotten worse.
Yeah. Remember, New Vegas was bad too. But that was Obsidian,
and now it's probably the most hyped Fallout there is.
It's the only one everybody wants to play. So I'm not like, I'll wait and read some reviews. I'll watch some streamers play it. I'm just not buying it. I feel like it's gonna feel more shallow than they're letting on. I don't need to visit 10,000 planets. The one I'm on sucks enough to let me know that all of them are gonna suck.
I mean, as long as there's not a, or you have to get to the center of the universe type deal.
There's gonna be some dumb shit like that.
I'm sure there is.
What's your next yay?
So I see your list, and I'm trying to keep myself separate because I think we are in agreement of our yays for the most part.
Well, let me hear your yay. Go ahead.
Mortal Kombat,
dude, it looks good.
I'm not gonna lie. I had never, not in a long time, wanted to play a fighting game so bad. It looks so good. The story has me. I mean, I was already hooked with 11. I saw the story and I'm like, God damn it, this looks great. This, on the other hand, blew me out of the water immediately. It just looks fantastic. I was starstruck. I would say Mortal Kombat 1 was the thing that made me go, my God, this year is going to be great.
I love what they're doing with the cameos. I think the cameos are pretty cool.
We got Jean-Claude Van Damme playing as fucking Johnny Cage. Tell me how this does not get any better.
I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really good. That is also why it is on the top of my list as well.
It's like I said, it's hard. I don't care what anybody says. There was a bunch of great announcements that came out, but by far, Mortal Kombat 1, I say that is it took the crown of all of the showcases and fest and whatever you name it, whatever company did it, you name it. This by far spoke to me on such a high level.
I'll have to pick a new one, but that's okay. I'm glad that you also liked that too.
I mean, I could pick a different one real quick.
No.
I'll make it quick. I can make it really quick.
You've already said your piece on Mortal Kombat.
That's fine. Go ahead then. Okay, so what's your yay?
My next yay is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This looks like the most Metroidvania-ass Prince of Persia. It's like I was saying earlier. I don't remember if it was before we started recording or if it's right now. I am so sick and tired of rogue. No, it was during the recording. I'm so sick and tired of roguelites or roguelikes or whatever the fuck it's called. I need a true Metroidvania. Ooh, excuse me.
Start that.
I need a true Metroidvania where I'm not like, oh, I died, I gotta start over. No, I want. Oh, is that a save? Oh, is that a fucking thing I can save my game in? I'm trying to think of like the most ridiculous save room in one of these games. Is that a fucking coffin I can lay in? Okay, I'm laying in the
bench I
coffin.
can sit on? What's going on here?
I'm saving the game. Thank goodness. The 2D Prince of Persias have always been really cool about their platforming. This looks like it'll be the same, but it's also got the beat 'em up elements in it. I think it looks good. I'm excited. Boss fights also look really cool. I'm here for it. Let's go. I'm upset that we didn't see anything from Sands of Time, but they came out ahead of time and were like, it's not happening yet, guys. We're reworking it. The one thing from Ubisoft I'm excited about.
Until they bring it down and disappoint us.
Stop. What's your next nay, Josh?
So my next day is probably, and I hate saying this because you know me, I like to I like to think the best of the world. I'm almost afraid to say it.
Just say it.
Lies of P.
I don't get the appeal of it. Is it the Bloodborne draw that everyone likes about it?
I think that's the case, but at this point, I'm burnt out of it all.
On what aspect?
I guess the Dark Souls genre we're getting out of all of it. Yeah, that's what I said. It's made its own genre, which is fine. But with how over, and I'm not saying that Elden Ring wasn't a well-deserved or well-received game, but for the overhypeness that it got, like people were just sucking at the teat of Elden Ring, going, "Oh my god, it's the game of the year. It just blew everything." I get it, like it deserves it, but at the same time, like, guys, we don't need a new. It's eventually going to turn itself into a Call of Duty or every other franchise out there where we're literally going to get a new game every year, and it's going to be a different part of the company making it. And it's going to be slightly different in every way. To me, this is my roguelike that's starting to get I'm burnt out of it. Like I want to see other things.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's one of those games where I've seen a little bit of the footage, but I'm like, I don't see the point. I don't see it.
It's, in my opinion, it's the Chad equivalent of, the JRPG girls, the big titty, blue hair. Am I wrong?
It's just it's
we have a person who's 1,000 years old, but she looks like she's 12, and people just don't shut the fuck up, and it's full of Rule 34s.
Well, this is coming from the guy who now for 3 weeks played Star Rail, and I'm sure that's covered in him, isn't it, Josh?
No one freaking asked you, okay?
My next nay is Star Wars Outlaws. It's not so much the concept or the characters or the trailer, like that all looked great. This is going to be a Far Cry-ass Star Wars as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And I'm not here. I'm not trying to clear out your map. I'm not trying to, follow, who's a Star Wars character I can think of? I'm not trying to follow Yoda down a dark alleyway and jump him. Or I'm not trying to pick up a hooker Yoda. have sex with him, let him out, run him over, and get my money back. I'm not trying to do it. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want an open world Star Wars. You know what I would like? I'm anti. I'm not anti remake, but they're done a bit much. That KOTOR doing thing that was going on that got canned. Would love that. Not so much on the open world GTA Star Wars coming from Ubisoft.
Yeah, I don't want to climb some tower to get a view of the map and then have some quick way of getting down.
That's a better example than my hookers. I don't think there have been hookers in Far Cry yet.
Well, I'm sure someone modded it.
Not yet. Be the change you want to see in the world. Josh, what is your last yay?
This is a really tough one, honestly.
Do you not? I thought you already had these written down.
No, I do, but you got to think, Nick. We talked about so much last week between everything.
Oh, even if it's from last week, go ahead and say yay for it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, between Summerfest and the showcase, there's just so much good that came out of it that I'm like, it's so hard to pick. But I'll pick now. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
That's the latest in the Final Fantasy VII
This
trilogy,
is part
right?
2 of the trilogy. Yes.
Okay.
For a multitude of reasons. First off, I absolutely enjoyed Remake. It was a fantastic. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, is it a remake of Final Fantasy VII? Yes. But it stuck out to me. It's not your tip. They in my opinion, Square Enix did the equivalent of what Capcom is trying to do with the Resident Evil series. I say that because yes, 2 was different. Or Resident Evil 2 was different. But what they did was they gave it, they adjusted it to be more, not modernized, but more direct with the rest of the continuity of the franchise. And with Final Fantasy VII, yes, a lot of it is the same shit, but they did so much different. They added so much more material to it. And I think with Rebirth, I'm pumped because we're finally, in the overworld, we're gonna hear the story. We're gonna see Cloud become Cloud. And let's throw in some nostalgia. Nick, how long has it been since we had a multi-disc game?
I couldn't tell you, honestly.
And I'm not talking and for those who are going to argue and tell me Xbox 360, yes, you are right. But I'm not talking one disc was single player and one
Odyssey
disc was
had
multiplayer.
3 disc.
That's what I'm getting at. That was probably the last multi-disc game we saw. And that's 10, 15 years old?
Something like that, yeah.
And like I said, you'll get somebody who's like, okay, well, there's been multi-disc games, in and out. Yeah, but I'm not talking one single player, one's multiplayer, one's like an extra disc or whatever, some bullshit. No, I'm talking a true, you have to put they're going to make us do both disc to download it, or it's going to be you play disc 1 to a certain point, and then they're going to say, oh, switch out the disc and put in disc 2. And that brings back so much nostalgia.
Josh, you're gonna buy it digitally. Shut the fuck up.
No, fuck that. I'm tossing out the idea right now in my head. Do I buy Final Fantasy 16 Collector Edition to keep, and then go buy it digitally to play it, or what?
Josh, you're gonna fuck you, Josh. You're going to buy it digitally. It doesn't. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying.
You tell that to this,
Josh. Come
you
on.
tell that to this.
Come on.
Say it to its face. Say it to its face.
PS4 Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Deluxe edition.
He's gonna buy that shit digitally.
Oh, don't listen to him, baby. I love you.
All right, let's see. My last yay, I had Mortal Kombat 1 originally. I was scrumming the internet real quick to refresh. I'm gonna go Frostpunk 2. It looks like it's keeping the doom and gloom going. It's really sad looking. I would love to see some gameplay, but I'm excited for that. Frostpunk 2, it's coming. Josh, I'll give you a minute to collect your thoughts on your nay, because I have a new nay. I was originally going to do Spider-Man 2, but it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, just put the game out. My nays are for video game TV show trailers at these events.
Goddamn, that's a good one.
I don't need to see the goddamn Witcher.
Yeah.
I don't need to see goddamn Twisted Metal. Look, it's great that the games are branching out into the TV shows. I don't need these conventions becoming fucking Comic-Con. I don't need Hollywood nosing in. I don't. I really don't.
Which of the two? Which one do you think's going to do worse?
Which one's going to do worse? I think Witcher's going to do okay because it's already got its audience. People
Right.
who are like upset about Henry leaving are pretty online people, I imagine. I imagine
Yeah.
there's a handful of people who like The Witcher who don't realize that change is coming.
They'll learn the hard way.
That's going to be hilarious. I want to see how that goes for people. Like people who don't like the people who don't watch a trailer, don't keep up with any of that shit. They're just like they hop on, they get home from their job at the car wash. They plop their ass down in their Ashley furniture, grab the Fire Stick remote, turn on Netflix. Oh, hey, Witcher's got a brand new season. Oh, look, they got a new cover photo. Oh, that's one of those Liam brothers. That's Thor's brother. He must play the Witcher's brother or something. And then they're gonna click it, turn on the episode, and they're like, oh my god, what happened to the Witcher? Did he die? Did he die at the end of the season? Hold on, let me watch the season 3 recap. No, he didn't die. What the fuck happened to... What the fuck? And that's how that's going to happen. That's how that's going to go.
That was oddly specific, but I think you're right.
And then that little bit they showed of Twisted Metal. What are you doing?
It looks awful. It looks... I'm not gonna lie. I see 2 episodes. I don't know. So did they say all episodes are coming out at once, or is it 1 week at a time?
I think Peacock does them 1 week at a time.
It's going to get 2 episodes in. It's going to get canceled. If it gets past that, I'll be shocked.
They'll do the whole run. They're already made. They're already going to be ready.
It's going to be so bad. And someone's going to go, why? There's literally going to be like 20 videos of people going, why Twisted Metal failed. I can tell you right now, without even watching an episode, why it failed.
I have a theory, and I think this has already started with some of those companies. It won't get canceled. In fact, it'll get renewed. But they can't start writing season 2 because of the WGA strike. So what these companies are going to do is they're going to take shows that they streamed and put them on their cable network and say, oh, hey, brand new episode of Twisted Metal tonight. Come watch Twisted Metal.
Talk about watching a show fail twice.
Well, I think Paramount announced they were going to do that with some of their shows. And I got excited for a minute because I was like, oh, fuck, Players. They're going to put Players on CBS. It's going to be a new audience for Players. But I don't think they have the rights to Players anymore, I don't think. I think they gave the rights to Players, I think it's on Apple or something. I'd have to double check where Players is at. But yeah, so I could see that happening. By the way, go WGA. Studios pay the people. Josh, what is your last nay?
The Marvel Snap update.
Josh, don't fuck with my emotions.
I'm just being honest. Like, that was like, that's just as bad. Just as bad.
Yeah, I hate those
as the
random
shows.
updates. I do hate those random updates they do.
Like, so the one I'll give a break is Dead by Daylight because of the whole Nicolas Cage coming on. Like,
That was cool.
that was kind of cool. And, you know, sure. But the Marvel Snap update, get it done without it. It didn't really benefit anybody. Not even the players who currently play it because they already knew.
I downloaded that update, by the way, and played one of those games. So it plays just like the friendly version where you have 8 points. Or you have 10 points. You can snap, and like if you win an 8-point game, the other person loses 8 points. So I did that, and I misplayed. And in the first game, I lost 8 points, and I only had 2. And so that means the rest of the way, every game is just a max of 2. I don't think the guy could snap based off of that. So max of 2. I'm basically back against the wall, ready to die any game if anything goes wrong. I fucking won the game. I fucking won it all. I won it all.
And then he lost.
I won it all.
And then he lost.
No, I won it all. I came back and I was down 8 points and I won the whole thing.
Realistically, guys, what actually happened is he lost.
I won the whole thing. If I I wish I would have screen recorded it. That was a really cool moment. My best Marvel Snap moment. Hey, can I get your picture for the school paper?
Yeah, but yeah, I would say that it's just who cares? I'm not here to hear about an update for a game that at this point it has its cult following still, and that's about it.
So I was looking at Summer Games Fest. There's more stuff that has to still be announced. There's still more stuff going on. Like Annapurna is at the end of the month.
Yeah, and it's just what we've gotten so far. I mean, like I said, there was so much going on, and there's still so much more to go. It's hard to pick. When you said 2, I was like, damn, this is gonna be hard. When you said there, I'm like, okay, it's a little better, but still hard. Nick, and I know this was going on a little longer, but I'm curious. What was the one thing that you saw at these the showcases or fest that you were unexpectedly seeing and going, oh, I'm kind of interested? Like, not like the yay or nay, but just like you weren't expecting it, but you're like, this is welcoming. Like, you're curious to see how it goes.
That new Prince of Persia, honestly, that was the one where
Really?
I was like,
Okay.
whoa.
See, I felt that way with Alan Wake 2, the gameplay for it. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, it's been a while since we've seen an Alan Wake. And I was interested. It had me hooked. I'm like, okay. All
right, let's go, Alan. Let's wake up.
Like, let's do it. Let's figure out what's going on in this world, because I forgot. It's been so long.
Alan awoke. Let's get Alan woke.
Oh God.
Hey, Josh, we've reached the end of the episode. You know what time it is?
Time to recap.
Time to recap. My brain is fried, by the way.
No, mine is too. No, it's not time to recap. We're gonna talk about 2020 Part 2 next week.
Yeah,
And Jake will
2020
be
part.
hopefully back.
Yeah, Jake should hopefully be back. 2020 Part 2 next week, and maybe we'll see what he was excited about from Summer Games Fest. But in the meantime, I am Nick. You can find me on Twitter at That Kaufman. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at Nick Fat Night. Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me just about anywhere. I'm Josh Sang.
I'm Josh Sang, and Jake can be found anywhere. Just think of a social media or a thing, and he's there at Jakey Boy Kaufman, all one word. You can also find Smashing Game Time, any of the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Those are probably the 3 most popular that we like to use. We also have a Discord. Go hop over there and chat with us. Be pretty cool if you did. Be pretty cool if you came over and hang out. Also, rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. Kind words, 5 stars, please. It really helps out the show. Thank you to Trident Network. Go check out our sibling podcast. Thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for our intro and outro song, Hunt Him Down. It's a great song. We have a link to his SoundCloud in the show notes. Go check Alex's stuff out. Everybody, this has been Smashing Game Time. I hope each and every one of you had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time. Nose itchy.